106.7 FM.
I've always said that someday I was gonna leave you.
George Jones, and I'm just not ready yet at 8:30 in the morning. Well, get ready fast, George, or you're going to be late. We started out with Dandy and the Doolittle Band at 106.7. Going to be a pretty day, partly sunny, breezy, high in the 60s.
I'm the singer, you're the song.
I'm the singer, you are the song. Tanya Tucker. That's a pretty thing. Now let's get over to Charlie Pride on a Thursday morning in the Big Apple. Charles?
Tomorrow I'll say happy.
Can't believe that you stopped loving me. Charlie Pride, 8:37 in the morning at 106.7. Pretty day coming up, partly sunny, breezy, high in the upper 60s. Hey, did you know that 3 out of 4 headache sufferers can get relief from safe, relaxing biofeedback procedures? Call the Long Island Consultation Center in Rego Park, Queens, 896-3400 for further details.
Soft contact lenses for only $69. Boy, that's fan.
Newsday.
Tuesday, Long Island loves it.
This is the last cowboy song.
With all the sports in a couple of minutes. Sunny, breezy day ahead, high in the 60s. Clear, cool tonight, low around 50. 57, clear now. That's news from WHN Mutual Radio in New York. Have a good morning. I'm Bernard Gershon.
And I'm Del DeMontro, and I've got the music we all want here. WHN with Willie Nelson from the movie Honeysuckle Rose. This is On the Road Again. Let's go. Good morning. On the road again. 1050 WHN.
1050 WHN, Mutual Radio, New York.
At this dance, that's Anne Murray at WHN. Del DeMontro playing the songs, the music you asked us to play. 688-1050. If you want to call now, you can. It's going to be a nice sunny day today, high in the upper 60s. It is clear, a little chilly, 57 at WHN. And Howie Rose with the Yankees story.
Yesterday in Kansas City, the story was...
Yesterday when I was... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Howie.
I always wanted to hear you sing.
Go ahead, Howie. You just do the sports.
You tape something and we'll play it later. Meanwhile, in Kansas City yesterday, just about everything went wrong for the Yankees. Faced the Bruins at the Nassau Coliseum. That's sports. I'm Howie Rose on 1050 WHN.
Are you kidding?
We got all kinds of winners playing, all kinds of games.
New York's lottery.
Over 380 million in prizes.
Since 1976.
Waylon Jennings, Music Man. The album, this is Clyde. He played the electric bass. It's 810 at WHN. Good morning.
Clyde plays electric bass. Clyde played electric bass. Played it with finesse and grace. Sat on the porch, ain't got no shoes.
That's all. 1050 WHN. Del DeMontro playing the music. Here we have the Oak Ridge Boys on the way. Little Merle Haggard. We got Emmylou Harris and Waylon Jennings. Some more music with Waylon coming up a little while. Your music age, your radio station. That's WHN. It's 813 and traffic-wise. Both the Brooklyn and Williamsburg bridges. Pretty good shape coming in. Upper BQE very slow now in both directions. Here's Mr. Frank Perdue.
When you cook some big birds, you have to rely on something.
Live broadcast tonight at WHN from the Lone Star Cafe. Charlie McLean will go at 10 o'clock. Be listening if you can. It's 8:15 now. WHN.
It's the same old situation.
We're 50 WHN. Good morning. It is 8:18 now. Beautiful weather today, sunny with a high in the upper 60s. Kind of chilly now with clear skies and 57 degrees.
This weekend, instead of snapping up your jacket and coming out to Belmont...
8:20 at WHN. Good morning. Clear skies, 57 degrees with Elvis music on the way. I gave a girl.
At 26 minutes past 8, we heard music by Antonio Sacchini, the overture to La Contadina in Corte, as played by the English Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Richard Bonning.
There is a magazine whose audience is so special, it beats many special interest magazines at their own game. It carries more pages of wine advertising than gourmet.
When you see the quality wine seal on a bottle, you know it's one of the finest wines of Austria. Ask your dealer about Austrian wines, and they may even play your song. The Austrian Wine Institute, New York.
For a free informative booklet on Austrian wines, write Austria, WNCN, 1180 Avenue of the Americas, New York City, 10036. That's Austria, care of WNCN, 1180 Avenue of the Americas, New York City, 10036. And now to bring us up to date on what's happening in the world, here is Bob Adams.
8:28, here's the news in brief from WNCN. Iran's official Pars news agency claims Iraq used ground-to-ground missiles. Now the weather for the WNCN area. In Central Park, 57 degrees, that's 14 Celsius. It's clear, with humidity 69%. Again, the current temperature 57 degrees. It's 8:30, and here's Matt Edwards.
Music now by Bach as we hear one of his French suites. This is number 4 in E-flat major. It is played on the clavichord by Thurston Dart.
A Lagoon Waltz from Johann Strauss's A Night in Venice. Billy Boskovsky leading the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. Bring us practically to get home tonight. You want to copy the guide to dining out, you just send that self-addressed, gently stamped envelope to Cocktail Time, WQXR, New York 10036, New York. That'll do the trick very neatly. Back to our...
Victor Moan on a lazy afternoon when the beetle bugs are zooming. And it's 8:42 right now. It's morning. It's not afternoon. Jim Aylward in the morning here at WRFM in New York. Stereo 105. For several months now, I've been telling you about the big expansion taking place at Bograd's, that famous furniture store in Paterson, New Jersey. Well, they're getting ready now to have a grand opening of the expanded store sometime around Thanksgiving Day. But Bograd's fabulous new dining room gallery is ready for previewing right now. And it's so beautiful they couldn't wait to show it to you. In one visit, you'll be able to see over 80 dining room settings, okay? Call Bograd's Collect today at area code 201-278-4242. It's 8:43 exactly right now at WRFM. 57 degrees this morning, humidity 69%, the barometer rising some more, 29.81 inches. Partly sunny, breezy, cool today, the high in the upper 60s.
Well, you should see us now. We'd like to take a...
It's 8:44 now. If you're part of the hired help, the Aylward Notebook says you'll be delighted to find out your boss doesn't like his job either. A survey of some 2,800 executives by the American Management Association shows 54% of the bosses indicated what they call less than minimal satisfaction with their positions. That means they're not too happy with their jobs. In fact, nearly half of those interviewed said they had been unhappy enough to consider changing their occupational fields. It's lonely at the top. I believe that study because I was an executive at one time for 6.5 years of it, to be exact. I was a junior exec. Well, I'll be honest. Actually, my title was slave first class, is what it was. And when I first got that job, I thought it would be great until I found out the regular crew came in at 9 in the morning and went home at 5. And as an executive, I was expected to come in at 7 a.m. And I did that for years, and then finally I dropped out and I became a big radio star. Now I get up at 4:15.
in the morning. When a bolt of lightning strikes a person, usually it's fatal, but not in the case of a San Antonio, Texas man, G.L. Pope. The bolt knocked his wife to the ground 25 feet away, and it left him with singed body hair, red streaks on his arms and torso, black eyes, and sore knees, ankles, and feet. However, of most immediate concern when they got him to the hospital was how to remove his trousers. Seems the lightning had welded his zipper shut. And I have one more little note for you, and then I'll stop for a while. A shapely dancer in San Francisco thinks she isn't shapely enough. Acupuncturist George Long says he has a 35, 24, 36 patient who wants to become a 44, 24, 36 patient through a series of acupuncture treatments. Long says by using just 4 needles placed in the dancer's left ear, he can add new dimensions to her bust line. After the first half-hour treatment, he says the dancer has already shown a gain of 1 inch. That's right, her left ear is now 1 inch longer than her right. And that's Norrie Paramore, Who's in the Strawberry Patch with Sally. It's 8:49 right now. The total music hour is always all beautiful music and no commercials. And it's always relaxing for you, too. You can listen tonight at 11, right here at Stereo 105 in New York, WRFM. The Living Voices, conducted by Johnny Douglas, and the beautiful song, Our Love Is Here to Stay. 8:53.
I remember back in 52.
Yeah, that's true. It's 8:54 right now. Jim Branch is next with all the Thursday news. After the news at 9 o'clock, Joe Roberts will be along with more beautiful music for you from Stereo 105. So stay where you are. I'll be back again tomorrow in the morning from 6 until 9. Until then, Jim Aylward thanks you very much for listening. Have a great Thursday. Do something nice for somebody else.
Trenton, New Jersey teachers may be back in the classroom soon, following the lead of the Saddlebrook teachers who returned earlier this week.
The weather partly sunny and breezy today with a high in the upper 60s. Right now, clear skies, no wind, and 57 degrees. And that's the news at TFM. I'm Fred Darwin.
It's 8:44 in the city, 16 till 9 o'clock. .50, 10 minutes till 9 o'clock. Good morning from all of us here. WTFM, 57 sunny, and the Supremes. Here's what's happening in the weather at WTFM. Partly sunny, breezy, upper 60s this afternoon, down to 50 overnight, and then some more good weather tomorrow and Saturday too. Partly sunny tomorrow, high of 60 to 65. Saturday to be partly cloudy and mild. 57 now, sunny at TFM.
New York and the world are about to unite. Mondays through Saturdays with no admission charge. It's something we all have to do.
Well, Susan, the way I look at it, all that stands between you and the rest of Thursday is the following minute.
You know, you have a point there.
Yeah.
Well, let's get through this minute then. Just a couple of things left over. Traffic is quickly clearing up around the area. Long Island Expressway inbound through Nassau County, still a bit slow out around Deer Park Avenue due to an earlier accident. Cross Bronx, still kind of slow from the Bruckner interchange to 3rd Avenue. Garden State Parkway, that's going to be extra heavy all day from approaching Clark up through Union. They've closed the center lane by the tolls because of construction. The Pulaski Skyway inbound is closed. It's been closed outbound for several months. But coming inbound, it is closed because of new construction. It will be closed until 4 o'clock this afternoon. The Lincoln has about a 30-minute wait. George Washington, 15. The Holland, maybe 5 minutes. And on the rails, there are 10-minute delays on the Uptown A, Double C, F, and M trains. 10-minute delays on the Downtown D trains. I'm Susan Murphy for Shadow Traffic on WTFM.
There, that didn't hurt.
The Hockey League season gets underway today. The Rangers will be playing at Boston. Bob Goldschall for Don Criqui will be along with more sports in just a few minutes. Right now, George Meade here in the studio to check the traffic.
Okay, John, we continue to have pretty good traffic news.
Okay, George, thank you. Our mass transit reports have been very good through the morning. Only minor delays to report on any of the system. That is the situation right now. You know, according to the latest up-to-the-minute reports, money market funds are paying average interest rates of 9.5% this week. Time now for the WOR Business Report on a Thursday morning, 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. Again, Peter Roberts.
Thank you, John. The dollar is heading for a crisis. Well, nothing in between, in other words. John?
Thank you, Pete. We'll have the latest traffic, transit, weather, sports, and news. All the things that you want to know when you want to know them on a Rambling with Gambling morning. But first, this message.
A need is taking shape at a company called TRW.
Exactly 7:45. Let's talk for a moment, if we may, about the cupola. Probably the most exceptional, the most luxurious senior citizen residence anywhere in the eastern part of the United States. 201-444-8200 to know more about the cupola. Starting off our commuter roundup here at about 14 minutes before 8 o'clock. Here in the studio, instead of up in the air, George Meade.
Okay, John, that gas station fire out in Brooklyn has now gone to a second alarm, so you should try to avoid the area of X. And John Gambling's going to play golf today, so we know the weather's good.
Don't be absolutely too... There have been other days, George. This one happens to be a good one. Looking forward to it. Let's go over to Bill Corbell. He knows even more about the weather.
Well, I do, and from what I can see, John, I see no weather problems at all right through the start of next week, except, of course, the fact also clear.
Okay, Bill, here's our news briefly. Iran now seeking to involve the United Nations in its continuing dispute with Iraq. It turned down a UN offer earlier to mediate the fighting. President Carter says he won't make any more personal attacks against Ronald Reagan. A new study says that New York City has been balancing its budget at the expense of the poor. And Italian financier Michela Sindona, already in jail on a bank fraud conviction, is back in legal trouble again. We'll have more details when Roger Skibinis reports the news. Our next report due up at about 11 minutes from now at 8 a.m. Now this.
After all is said and done, savings bank.
Let's Ticketron and charge it.
Don Criqui is away today. Bob Goldschall sitting in at the sports desk. The New York Yankees not off to a very good start in the playoffs. Bob?
No, they're not, John, and you have to wonder if perhaps the Yankees are worrying about the artificial turf in Kansas City, also against the Bruins. In the NBA, they get going tomorrow night. The Nets at home against Indiana in Piscataway. On Saturday, the Knicks open their season in the Garden against the very tough Milwaukee Bucks.
Bob, any theories why the Jets have had such a dismal start on their season?
I have one theory, John, and I think this applies to young teams in most sports.